Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
We'd like to say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Rev Barnett, your host. We hear each and every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. And I'd like to say good morning to everybody out there. And we got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things going on. But I missed 2 weeks of my pledge drive, and I really need to raise some more money. I thank God for those, Reverend Wright and Mr. Petrie, for sitting in for me, and they did a good job. But I need to raise some more dollars. And I know with your benevolence we can make it. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893 with your tax deductible pledge. We need to stay on the air. I need to make raise some money. So would you please, out of the kindness of your heart and love for the show, would you call us at 972-647-1893? We got a lot of things going on, not just so much going on. And we talked with Reverend Wright last night. He told me about a case I hadn't heard about, and there are just a myriad of cases of brutality on African American people. Brutal. Just unthinkable. But let me tell you something. This is nothing new. The reason why it seems like it's so out of hand and wild. Now, we have these video cameras. We got these, telephone cameras. We got things that will bring things to the light now. A lot of things that the police departments across this nation used to get away with, they can't do it now as much as they used to. And we got to be vigilant. We got to be forthright. We got to be conscious of what's going on. We've got to realize that we have a system in this country that's diabolically anti-black, and we have to make sure that we got to stand together on this. Now, we don't have time to frolic and play and go on. We don't have time not to be predisposed to things that are going on around us, because these things are real. I'm not here just saber rattling. No. These things are real. This is real, what's going on in our community. And we don't have time to play and act foolish games with our lives, especially the lives of our young people, our young men. Remember, Pharaoh wanted to kill all the Hebrew children, Hebrew boys, really, from 2 years old and under. They always go after the boys. Herod, the same thing, wanted to kill all the kids 2 years old and under. They had to escape into Egypt to hide Jesus, to keep him alive. They go after the men. They go after our young men. They go after our strength, our protectors. They go after those who really should be the head of the household. And people, these things are real. I'm not kidding you. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to get up. And it's time for us to come out, speak out, stand up for what's right and what's going on in our community. So we don't have time for these type of play games playing. They lock them up in prison, put them away where they won't have any voting rights forever the rest of their lives. They go on, they shoot them down like dogs and everything and maim them. Brutality, brutal. And men, they're brutal to our women. There have been too many cases where our black women have been abused and misused by this same faction, this same group, this same system of thinking throughout our police departments across this nation. There's a system of thinking. It's more than just a code of silence. It's the way they think. They think of you as a thing, not a human being. They see you in a way that we don't have really anything going for us, and they set out to make sure that we don't thrive in life. I know you're saying you've been harsh and severe, there's just one bad apple. Well, no, it's bushels out there. It's more than just one bad apple. There are bushels of them out there. Riding, patrolling our communities. It's a sad situation. When you see the police, you get scared. Tell the truth and shame the devil. You get scared. You know, you're not doing anything. You're not a criminal. But you get fearful when you see the police. You get nervous. Other ethnic groups see the police, and they feel comfortable knowing that they're there to protect and serve. But with us, they're there to drive us and maybe even kill us and do things to us that we have that we are fearful of, knowing full well they can get away with it. And guess what? We are paying them to oppress us. We pay them. We pay their salaries. You pay taxes. Everybody pay taxes. And pay their salaries really to abuse us. I met some nice ones, but I met a whole lot of nasty ones. For no reason at all. Just nasty. And it's time for us to make a change. You can call me at 972-647-1893. Those of you who are calling in, making your pledges, thank you. 972-647-1893. Imani, we coming to you also. 972-647-1893. I'm kind of stalling because he's new and he's getting a pledge. Thank God he's getting those pledges. And y'all can call your pledges in 972-647-1893. I don't have time to play because this thing called living is serious business. And we got to make sure that we stay alive. We got to make sure. We got to make sure that you're not shot down in the streets like a dog and go to some fictitious grand jury and he gets no bill. Whether you know it or not, this clown up there in Ferguson might get no bill by that grand jury. I got a feeling about this. I've got a feeling. He's allowed to testify. Oh, Lord, and he will testify. And see, they took out enough time. They take enough time to groom him on what to say. But also, we need to talk about the politics up there. Things we can do for ourselves. But I tell you what, let's go and take some calls. And 972-647-1893. We'll talk about some of these things. 972-647-1893. All right, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Imani. All righty. Good morning, Imani.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm sitting up here reading and studying. I got up early studying about this execution drug right now in Texas, soaring. Mm-hmm. And I've been, can you hear me?
Yeah, make that statement again because somehow I missed it. I was
okay. I'm studying. I get up every morning studying.
Yes, And
I'm studying about this new execution drug.
Is that the mess that they doing out in Arizona and Texas? Or?
No, that's in Texas. It went up for $1,500.
It's $1,500.
Yes, per vial.
In other words, it costs $1,500 just to shoot that stuff in you, right?
Right. That's how much it costs. I don't know how much they put in you. It's not saying how much, but Texas the prices went up in a few years from $350 to $1,500.
Okay.
And but that's not why I called you. First of all, I called to make a pledge. I made my pledge.
Oh, thank you, money. Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, I have to raise money.
Well, no, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Because I want to let you know, I want to tell my white brothers and sisters out there, just not talk to the Negro, the black folks. They need to read that book called The Message to the Black Man from Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, yeah.
He said this time would come, and it's here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running some children down. I've been looking for children over in the Paul Quinn area for about 2 days now. I got some little boys running like little animals. 14, 15-year-old teenage black boys.
You might wait. He's on the line, but it's something I'm getting so much feedback.
I am too.
You getting feedback too? Well, as soon as you get off the line, I'm having to adjust these mics because I believe it's coming out of my mic because I'm getting every word you say. I'm getting a blast out of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm sure it's probably coming out over the airways too. And
right. Well, let me make this statement, and I'll call back later. The message I'm talking to, the message to the black man has our problems to this in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading that book again for the second time.
Okay.
And that book, that man made more sense than all the other people did.
All right.
And we have some truth about Paul Quinn College that the police are out there and they won't even help us. And I'm looking for some kids out there, some lost kids, and it's a lot of them, they run like little dogs out there.
Well, let me ask you something. You're a man that you have some skins on the wall. I know what you've done out in Lancaster and different places here in Dallas and the Casey Foundation, all of this. You got skins on the wall. What is your opinion of our police chief?
I think he's just a shield for the devil. I think they're shielding the devil, and he, blackface protecting the interests.
So you don't think he's really a strong chief that's standing up for what's right and just in our city?
No, sir. I judge a man by his character and how he raises his children. His son set the example for me. He could control his own son. I don't know how he think he can control a whole big city like this. No, sir. I don't think he's the man for the job.
See, now you're going to the Bible on us.
Yes, sir, because he's not...
How can you control the church when you can't control your own house?
Own house. That's right. And this guy, he's just a front for them to kill and us, and they put him out front. So look what we got for y'all. We got another Negro to protect, look out for your interest. But he's really not looking out for us. He's looking out for his own interest.
All right. Thank you, man. We're going to see can we get this thing straightened out.
Yes, I'll call back later.
Okay. All right. See if we can adjust those lines. Boy, the feedback is terrible on this thing. I don't know if it's our mics that are up too loud. It didn't sound like he had his radio on. So we'll see how it's going. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. I want to look at some of the things that are happening. The political system. We talk and talk and talk and cry out about voting. We cry out about voting. Look, here's a town that's 2/3 African American. One person on the city council, I think. They say they have one. I hadn't seen him. The mayor, white. Everybody in positions of power, city council people, everything, white. But you're 2/3 black. Now, many of the decisions that these police make, which is 50, they said 50 white police and 3 African Americans, do you not know people that these people should run the political system in their town? They don't have to be oppressed. I don't say vote for people just because they're black, but my God, when you have people that are white and oppressing you, you vote these people out. You run the system. You have, I'm sure, enough bad apples in that police department that you don't have to wait through attrition to get rid of them. There are many that you can evaluate and get rid of them. It's sad. It's a sad situation. And I hate to say this. I've been trying to hold off until the young man is buried, Michael Brown is buried. But we've got to look at reality. Why would you live in a city that's 2/3 African American and everybody else run the government, run the businesses? You know, they own the stores, they own the government, they own everything. And all you do is pay taxes and live there or exist there. You're scared to go up and down the streets in the city that just about everybody in the town look like you. Something don't make sense, people. Can this be an example of what we're talking about when you get out and exercise your right to vote? Do we understand? Now, we do have African Americans that's been elected. They ain't worth a quarter. We understand that. We do have them, but they have an opportunity to elect people that look like them. That would be fair to everybody. Because one thing about black folks, boy, once we get in office, we make sure we take care of everybody else. You know, we don't take care of ourselves. But we are fair. We've been taught to be fair because we went through so much unfairness down through the years in this country that we reach out and be fair to everybody. Well, we need some people in there that's going to be good officials, elected officials, to everybody and be fair. I've driven through this town, God knows how many times, and I stay at when I'm in St. Louis, I stay at one of the big hotels there, at the airport. And when you're coming in on 70 from the airport, you see fluorescent, and and I've taken that exit and gone on into the convention center and different places. I've driven there, but I never had any problem. But that's just I was just blessed. I guess they didn't stop me from going through there, and Lord said the same. I'll be going through there in November. But at the same time, we need to be safe. Everything else we talk about means nothing, because if you're not alive, you can't enjoy any of it. 972-647-1893. Thank y'all for pledging. Y'all are pledging this morning. Please keep your pledges coming. I need to stay on the air, and when I get those pledges in, I can really cut it loose and talk and say some things I really want to say. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Thank you. Is Barbara still on the line? She made a pledge? Yes. Barbara Cooper? Yes. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you all for your pledge. Thank you, Imani. All righty. Is that Chandra on line 3? Let's try Chandra. All righty. On line 3. That's line 4. Give me line 3. All right. Good morning, Chandra. Is she gone? All righty. Okay, let's go to... Thank you, Wayman, for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you, Wayman. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's go to Tony on line 1. All righty. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine, man. If you were gone, I was wondering what's going on. How you doing this morning, Tony?
All right.
Good. Go right ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to do is that we need to arm ourselves, for protection of our families. We need guns. I'm not sure if it's a kill them or this or anything like that.
Well, Tony, let me tell you something. Before you go any further, we got to elaborate on what you're saying. You are so right.
Good morning, Knon.
We need to take that concealed weapon handgun licensing course. We have one of our biggest contributors is a corporation that are really... Well, they're not a corporation. Well, it's a corporation. They're a corporation that contributes to this show to offer handgun licensing training, and they're here and they hold shows all the time. So we need that protection. believe me, I believe in God will look out for you, but God gives us enough sense to look out for ourselves.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that, see, to me, I think certain things happen for a reason. The reason why ferguson happened was we always see killing of cops in big cities.
Mm-hmm.
But we very rarely see it in the suburbs or outer limits of the city.
Well, we got a situation in my hometown of Hearn, Texas, my hometown. And where this policeman, did you hear about it? The policeman killed this, about a 94-year-old woman, unarmed, quite natural, she was unarmed, but he shot her dead.
I think I heard about that.
It was a few months ago, and we're going to get an update on it. I tell you what, I'm getting a signal that I'm up against a break. I hate to cut off. Okay, but I thank you for your call and comment. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on Church Information and Informed by Rev Barnett, your host. All righty, 972-647 is the number to call. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Stop. Was the Stop 6? All righty.
Good morning, Rev Barnett. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Oh, man, trying to survive in a cruel and harsh world.
All right. I'm glad you recognize that.
Well, I usually call and be a little playful advocate, but I'm not. I got to agree with you this morning.
Oh, you got to agree with me this morning.
I got to agree with you.
Is it snowing in Fort Worth? It must be snowing over there. You going to agree?
Taxation without representation, man, that's a travesty. That's a travesty.
Well, see, we pay these folks to shoot us now.
Yeah, for sure. It's... At the same time, it's more of a travesty when it comes from people that look like me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the bigger travesty to me. Mm-hmm. It's not the Donald Sterlings. I expect the other folk to do what the other folk don't do. That don't surprise me. That's shocking. But I would tell you, like Tommy Smith told me when I met him, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago at the Fort Worth Black Chamber Gala. It was a gala.
Mm-hmm.
He told me this here because I was contemplating leaving. I'm trying to start my own business. He said, young brother, when you got there and start your own business, you need to be prepared for how your folk are going to do you.
Well,
how your folk will sit back. They won't patronize your business until the white folk patronize it first.
Mm-hmm.
Because what brought the story up was George Foreman. You know, I was like, you know, why in the 68 Olympics did George Foreman did not join you and John Carlos in solidarity, you know, Black Fist and all that tear shed moment?
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know, he was a small little country boy, you know, from wherever he was. I think he was from Texas, Kansas, whatever. You know, George Foreman is still one of us.
George Foreman grew up in Houston, but he was born in Marshall.
Yeah,
I know both Tommy Smith and John Collins. I know them both personally.
So
John, now I'll be fair with God, man. They said mine's first thing to slip, but I just called his name George. George told me he didn't know anything about it. You know,
right.
The fist rank. He said he swear up and down. He knew nothing about it, and I've talked to others that were in the 68 Olympics, Jim Hines, Clyde Duncan, all of them. They said people don't understand. They were not all necessarily staying in the same spot. Some were staying in this village, some were staying in hotels, some was staying in different things. And what Tommy and John did not get to a lot of the black athletes. They didn't know anything about it. Now, this is what Jim Hines, George Foreman told me. I asked John Collins. Collins said there's a good chance they didn't know about it because really he came up with the idea about a day or two before the Olympics. I mean, before the 200 meter was run, he came with the idea. And guess what? Guess who was halfway reluctant to do it? He said Tommy Smith was halfway reluctant to do it because everybody knew Tommy Smith was going to win, and Collins really had to hustle to get that bronze medal. So now this is what the people who were actually there and who actually participated and did it said to me about it. They said there were, what was the woman that won the 100 meters? Was that Wyoming Tyus?
Okay.
And they all said they were staying in different places, and it's not like all the Americans was in one spot and everything. See, America will have more athletes at the Olympics than anybody.
Yeah, we didn't have Facebook back then.
No, you had no Facebook. You didn't have, they didn't even have telephones.
Yeah.
So
well, I'll leave you.
they were in Mexico and with no telephones. I mean, it was just one of those things.
We gotta have one step I would love for us to make is those little cameras. I know it's an affordability thing, you know.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Policemen definitely need
they got to get them cameras on those uniforms.
Yes. See, smart cars have brought out a lot of stuff. But see, some of them have gotten, they take them beyond out of the car.
Yeah.
Put the camera on them where they can't hide. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you. All right, the clear line, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Here's Reverend Wright. Good morning, Dr. Wright. What's happening?
Good morning, Pastor. How you doing this morning?
Fine. What was this you were telling me last night?
Well, we're getting with you. Several incidents have been going on, and one of them was in the city of Greenville, Texas. First of all, 2 incidents have taken place. One is a white attorney down in Greenville, Texas. His name is Ross Mullins. Came into a black man's house, and the story we got is while he was laying down, sleep on his couch, put a gun to his head and shot and killed him. He turned around then and called the police department, and they came and arrested him. But he was released on a $150,000 bond. Now, why this lawyer done this, and they're still allowing him to, in which we're going to challenge that with the State Bar Association. They told the family in Greenville he's innocent until proven guilty. But by him calling the 911 operator and admitting to saying he shot the man, black man. Now, the purpose of what took place around it is going to shock everybody. But here's an attorney that's still practicing law, actually not on the lines of the law, morally, ethically. And they allowed this man a $150,000 bond. Witnesses there that, of course, all the Greenville police immediately tried to snatch up and probably scared to death, but we're already involved. They did a little light press conference last week, and it didn't bring the press out. So we're going to do it here at Justice Seekers this week coming up, and let the city of Dallas and everybody in the whole United States know what took place. This man was killed in his house while he lay asleep on his couch.
Now, you said it was a $150,000 bond for this lawyer?
For this lawyer, and of course,
which is not a lot of. That's not a lot of money for a lawyer.
Bailed him out.
Yeah,
he used to be a former. I think he's the assistant district attorney. So it was a good old boy. Let's get our brother out of this situation. They immediately released him, and he's still alive. And when the family questioned why y'all letting this man out, well, he has the business in Greenville, so he's not a risk. But you don't know what he's allowed he can do.
Yep,
There's no way that this was a black man that went into a white man's house. First of all, that would have got him life. To go in and
no. They would have killed him when they got there.
You better believe it. They never would have allowed this man to be brought out at such a low rate. Also down there, there were 3 or 4 black boys that were stabbed, and 2 of them were stabbed to death at a roller skate rink. And the police department down there again, the person that stabbed the young boys was a young Hispanic brother. He went down, he stabbed the boys. The police department walked him out of the hospital and let him go. And now they don't have a clue of where he is. But 2 black boys have been murdered, stabbed to death.
He killed 2 young men and walked?
He stabbed them, and the police department walked him out of the hospital. And now they don't know where he is.
Oh, I guess it's still black as the land and the white as the people down in Greenville.
We still fighting, so we're going to bring that to the attention. You know, it's just amazing of the things that we're going through. Listen, some of your early callers, Pastor, this gets worse and worse. On Monday of last week, your district attorney had to come to a little dog and pony show. Well, of course, you were there, and he was expressing, it's an embarrassment to the black community, but I'm not just mad at them. because all of our elected officials this year or this time around is a little bit ridiculous. Pastor, you make a very valid point when you say, how can 60% of the African Americans not be in control? But we've got African Americans in our position, and they're keeping their mouths closed. So we just as bad a shape as they are in Ferguson.
Yeah.
They're killing. The attack was on the black man down here, and a lot of women disagree with me. Not all women, but black women were a part of the attack on black men. And now we're reaping what we sow because these black boys have no respect for a lot of their own, for each other, or their mothers or sisters, and it's because of the dividing of the black home. This young black man that just shot this young lady in the face, and he was shot by a police officer. I mean, where does this stuff come from? It comes from the breaking up of a home. Chances are majority of these boys don't know who their daddy is.
Well, you bring up the family all the time, man. And you're consistent on that. You are consistent, and that's great. We got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems. The reason why we can't come together because we're not even together as a family, let alone as a community.
Exactly.
See, it takes good families to make good communities. It takes good families to make good churches. It takes good families to make good cities. To make a great nation, it takes good families. But when we are all divided, all up in beginning in life, you don't have don't know who both parents are, or don't have a relationship with both parents, you're still all messed up. And we have a bad situation that we have got to get together. We can get it together. Now, we can do that.
You know, Pastor, and our brothers in the clergy, along with me and you, I heard Money talk about the book, but I wanted to ask you, the book, what point in that book did it say we got to start taking a stand? And not just talking about it, we got to be about it. White folks are saying, why y'all getting so upset all the time? Y'all killing me. Now they're comparing black boys killing each other to police killing black boys.
Yeah. But see, one thing about it, we don't pay each other to kill us. We pay the police to kill us. Okay? They are paid by us and taxpayers' money, and they're not supposed to be paid to abuse you. They're supposed to be paid to protect you, and it's supposed to be protect and serve. Yeah.
They're talking about the cameras on the police. It doesn't matter, Pastor, because in this last case, both of those officers had cameras, and for some particular reason, one of the cameras wasn't working, and now the family hasn't been able to get the other cameras in because those cameras ain't gonna make no difference. Because if I got control of the camera that's on my body, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And they just passed the law in Dallas, so they got 72 hours before they can say anything in a shooting. 72 hours enough time for me to sit down and practice the lie that I'm gonna tell. They stop me from getting indicted.
Well, my take is on the camera. Some of them will be more cautious on how they speak and how they treat you because they know every time they get into a confrontation, they cannot cut their camera off. That camera is never working when they enter a confrontation. That would be a lot of problems. We need the cameras. We need the police review board with subpoena power. I'm talking about a citizens review board with subpoena.
Independent.
That's with citizens.
Independent. Nothing has to do with the police department or the city of Dallas because
let the citizens determine what's going on.
I started the Dallas Police Department using tasers, and everybody to this day never has tasers because the tasers could have prevented a lot of these killings. But
one policeman said he reached for his taser, but his pistol came out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. They said they don't have enough money for all the tasers, but that money that was spent to pay that $50,000 settlement was money that came from dope boys that should have been buying police officers tasers.
What $50,000?
Oh, your district attorney ran in the back of a car and settled $50,000 in that case. And that money came, it wasn't taxpayers' money, but that money came from out of the drug fund. And that $50,000 could have bought several more tasers, and some of these young men could still be alive today, opposed to being shot down. They could have been tased. But
what, 50,000? What was that? A Rolls Royce, a Bentley? What kind of car is that?
I don't know what kind of car it was, but what I don't understand is how does district attorney say you can trust him and investigating these police shootings, but we're not real sure that he's in control of what's going on at the district attorney's office. And Craig knows, and I asked him, said, when are you going to indict a police officer? You got plenty of evidence to show what police officers done me and that, and you didn't do it. What makes you think that we got to continue to keep electing black people just because they're black? That you made that point, Pastor. I'm not going to keep that. I know you got a show going. But why black folks don't understand? We don't have to vote for people because they're black, and sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. I'm going to let you go with your show, Doc.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your call. Thank you. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Again, we thank you for those who have made your tax-deductible pledges. But we need some more money coming in. I need to raise some money this morning. 972-647-1893. You can pay your pledges. Now, I have supported, and to a great point, I still support the DA. I support him because I've had to deal with Henry Wade and John Vance and others. This DA is black, and he's tried to do some things that others can't do and won't do, and it's a bad situation. But I have supported him, and until this now, I'm still trying to hang on. I'm trying to hang on. But I tell you what, I'm up against a short break, and we'll be back in just one moment. All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Rev Barnett, your host. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Now, again, we go back to the political ramifications there in Ferguson and across this nation. We have opportunities to elect people that look like us, hopefully think like us, that will help us be better communities, better nations, a better nation. When they're talking about Iraq and wherever we are, you find us there. We're fighting. We're giving our lives. There are others who don't believe we are going through all this. See, white people don't understand. They don't know what it's like for a black man driving down the street, and then here come the police pulling up behind them. He may not stop you, but he's already terrorized you. See, we always want to talk about terrorism. For a lot of African Americans, the average African American, most African Americans, is to a point terrorized when they see the police. That's not by accident. That's not by accident. There have been enough things that have happened over the years to us that we know that this could be a real problem when we see one of them pulling up behind us. I wouldn't lie to you. It's true. Black folk, call in. I want you to tell the truth. Call in and tell the truth. You get all nervous and all shook up and wondering, you're watching your speedometer, you're watching everything to make sure you do nothing wrong when they pull up behind you, because you don't have the feeling that you are about to be protected, and they are serving you, and there are some that will protect and serve you, but there are many that won't protect and serve you, and you know it. You don't have to play games. You don't have to hide the fact that it's a terroristic feeling for black people to see the police. It is. I know white people don't understand that. A lot of whites, some whites do, but a lot of whites don't. How could that be? They're not out to do anything. They're out there to make sure you say, no, well, black people don't see it that way, because too many times there comes a confrontation in this. Too many times there are confrontations. Too many times you are talked bad to or abused, pulled out of your car. See, all police confrontations don't end up in a shooting or a tasing. Sometimes there's a beating, kicking. And this policeman last night they gave him 180 days. The Dallas police, did y'all see that on the news? And they show how he beat this man, kicked him, and did everything. This black man. They show you all of these things, and you still don't believe what you see. It's right there before you. Showed him. They gave him 180 days the way he beat this black man. You know, this was ridiculous the way he beat that man. Kicked him. They gave him 180 days, but I didn't hear much about that. If y'all heard about that case, y'all tell me about it. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember the case, but they showed it on TV last night. They gave him, 6 months for beating him? Beating him, looked like with his flashlight and everything, and kicked him in the face, all in the head. And the man was saying, my children have got to see this. Did you see what a black woman was stopped the other day? And they told her to get out of the car. She had to back up with her hands in the air, talking about it, 4 black men in a car, and they looked suspicious. Did y'all see that? And she had to back up, and what she had in the car was her children, small children. Did y'all see that? Come on now. 972-647-1893. All right, bring me up Joe on line 4. Bring me Joe on line 4. Good morning, Joe.
Hello, Rev Barnett. How you doing?
Fine. You doing all right this morning?
Outstanding. Robert Peachtree did a yeoman job for you when you sat in for, I think it was last week.
Good. Let me ask you something, Joe, before you get started. Did you see this with that lady last night?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It looked like he stopped maybe about 30, 40 yards behind her. This woman had to walk to his vehicle, backing up, black woman, and she had her small children. All of them were under 10 years old.
But it doesn't surprise me one bit. There's a little police in my background, and I have a lot of police friends. And over at Southwest Center Mall, we know it's Redbury Mall. It always will be.
Blackberry Mall, man.
Right. Yeah, that's community. But we had the same thing over there. I worked at one of the high-end department stores for a little while, and I would have Caucasian women would come in after dark or mid-dark, and they would tell us that somebody was following them. They wanted security to check on them. And what it was, there'd be no one following them. They just wanted their own police protection. and I would tell them all the time, they want to know, could the police take them to the door? I said, no, we don't do that. They can... they look out for everyone in the store, but what it was, many times we check it out, it would be nothing. They had pin-up fears of black people, and we all had, 40 feet long tails, and we had a horn in the middle of all that. So that's all it was. It was nothing there. They had more problem going on out in North Dallas at the department store. They were taking, because thieves, they prey on nearest victims, yes, but they also know if you rob a poor person, you're not going to get a doggone thing. So if you rob an affluent person, you snatch her purse, you might have some decent credit cards off in there, maybe a little money. So that's the bottom line. But getting on that, police, a little bit, you mentioned some things on there. Policemen, white Caucasian policemen, a lot of them say that they like their police in the black community because it's dull out in the white community. They consider real police, and many of them, not all of them, many of them, when they can call your names and shove you around and threaten the daylights out of you.
That's policing to them.
Right, to them. Right. That's policing. You see up in Missouri when this guy came in to help, he was lending assistance to Ferguson, and the guy was shouting verbal loud talk.
I'm going to shoot you.
Right, he threw the gun down in his face, and one of the commanders there had to get him and put him aside. Hey, no.
They fired him.
Yeah, he should have been fired because, see, this is old racism hiding behind a badge. That's all it was.
That's all it is?
Right, just like Sterling. Sterling been Sterling for all his life, but it just took him messing with somebody with the bigness of Magic Johnson for it to go profile and get him run off. But he been doing that mess all. Elder Baylor had to follow him. He was his president, I think, of his basketball operation. So going on. But in closing, those folks up in Ferguson, Missouri, and all the other little Ferguson, Missouri around, they have to own a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because that community predominantly black, they shouldn't have voted all them clowns in, vote them out, do something. You hear a lot of folks say that I don't vote because they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
Lord.
That's how you end up with that kind of mess. Ferguson was a powder keg, been waiting to explode for about 50 years.
Right.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you for your call. All righty, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Evangelist. Is that Matt? Evangelist Matt? All right, good morning, Evangelist.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Fine, how are you this morning?
All right, just to comment on the situation about the white officer that was beating the black gentleman who was handcuffed and already down and kicking him and hitting him with the flashlight.
You see that on TV last night?
Yes, sir. That happened in 2013 right here in South Dallas. And
I don't remember that case.
Yeah.
Right, if you Reverend Wright, if you remember that case, try to get back in and call me and remind me of that case. I don't remember it. Until last night.
The jury awarded him $500,000.
That's our money that they're giving away.
The city of Dallas. But the travesty of it all is he only received a 6-month sentence.
Yeah, 180 days. He's not going to serve all of that.
No, he'd be eligible for parole, I believe, in like 2 months.
Oh,
figure it out.
So that's all the black man's head and body and everything is worth of him. And they showed the film, him beating him with that flashlight. They beat him and kicked him in the head. And it was atrocious what he did to that man.
Now, a lot of the officers do serve and protect, but like the caller before me stated, sometimes it is racism behind the badge.
A whole lot of times it's racism behind the badge. Yes. Okay. I thank you for your call, sir. All righty. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Diana on line 4. All righty. Good morning. You're on Knon.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I'm trying to get this in before I go to work this morning. I hear you on Saturday mornings on the way to working.
Oh.
You have a great show.
Thank you.
But racism has been going on a very long time. I wish I had more time to talk about it. Back in May 2011 in Yuma, Arizona, my son he is a former Marine. And this story should have went national. He he was diagnosed with PTSD, and he was attacked by policemen. They apprehended him wrong. Medical records show that he was in a bad state of mind. I didn't have the money to fight it. And, of course, this was in Yuma, Arizona.
Right.
He was in a bad state of mind when they arrested him. They arrested him, beat him nearly to death. He wakes up, he's in jail. Well, officer ended up with a broken thumb. Well,
they didn't take him to the hospital?
They took him to the hospital. He don't even remember going. Medical records show that he was screaming out of his head, but he wakes up in the jail. I had to fight like hell to keep him from going to prison because he broke one officer's thumb during the time, but he was out of his head. His computer was mine. I have all the medical records of that.
Well, now, let me ask you something, ma'am, because now we got another thing going on right there in St. Louis. What that film said and what those police reported about this, they show you this man, he's obviously was off. He took a couple of, stole some soft drinks and put them out on the sidewalk in front of the store. He was walking around. You could tell he was off. He got up on this thing, and the police showed up and everything, and they claim he lunged, but that film doesn't show that.
Right.
Within, I think, 22 seconds after they arrived, they started shooting. They claim he had a knife. I never saw a knife in his hand, but the man was crazy, out of his mind. And in 22 seconds, that man was dead.
They didn't kill my son, but they sure couldn't. You
better praise God. Yeah, because
they chased him so many times, and he was diagnosed with PTSD prior to that. And someone called the police because they thought he was going to hurt himself. He was walking on the middle of cars. He's way better, but he just had that bad episode, and he was walking in the middle of cars, yelling at cars. Somebody called, even a witness said, I feel sorry for the young man. Well, they somehow chased him to a place where nobody could see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I have pictures of my son. My son was he was beaten so badly. He was beaten so badly. And right now he has a felony charge when this boy should have been taken straight to a hospital and put on a mental ward. Instead, they took him to the hospital. He don't even remember being in the hospital.
Is he getting treatment now?
He is getting some, kind of avoid some treatment. He's better, he's working and everything. But, I mean, it's a long story. I've been thought about writing a book about it. I will write a book about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're talking about the police brutality, Arizona is the worst. And I tell you, he's a Marine. He's a Marine. And I'm not going to talk about the disrespect they gave him in court. No, but he's a Marine at the time.
Right.
And
serving his country.
Serving the country. And I tell you, I think when I tell you what we went through, when this boy should have immediately been treated as a person with mental illness at the time.
Right.
Instead, he was treated like a common criminal. And it's just terrible. But if you see the pictures, how they beat him, they said, well, he broke a piece off the thumb. Well, you all went behind a building on him, and you beat the crap out of him. You should handle him the way you handle someone.
Well, you came. He may not even broke the thumb. You never know. He might broke it, hitting him. See,
exactly.
Yeah, so we will never know about that.
Exactly.
I don't trust
That's what everybody said. He probably got his thumb broken, beating him in the face. But if you see the pictures of how he was beaten, then you would know why he probably broke his thumb. But I had a fight. We had to really fight him and really pray to keep him from going to prison. And right now he has a felony charge because he broke a piece off of the thumb.
Right.
But, you apprehended a mental ill man, a trained 6'4" black dude, mental ill. You apprehended him the wrong way. He was sick. They called you to help this man, and somehow he gets tased all up and down his arm and side his face, and he gets beaten to death. It's just, I said one day the Lord would bring it all out, and I'll talk about it more, and he'll help more. But I just thought I'd bring that up while you all were talking about police brutality.
And he's in, like you said, one of the worst states there is, Arizona.
He was. He's back in Fort Worth, Texas now.
Okay.
But you're right, he was in one of the worst places, and he still had nightmares and a lot of problems of just that incident.
All right.
Not just being in Afghanistan, because he served in Afghanistan prior to that, but just being in that incident has really messed up. Embarrassment. Just a lot of things have been going on with him since then, but that's gotten us through, and we're getting there. We're getting there.
All right.
Thank you for listening to my story.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your call. All righty, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go to Larry on line 2. Ready?
Rev Barnett?
Yes,
All these arrows is got it in for the Negroes.
Well, you're not lying about that, Larry, but the Negro need to wake up themselves, unite, and quit pretending it's not going on. It's happening. Yes.
Yeah, they know they come all the way from Iraq, Iran, move in the neighborhood, get a store, and start hitting black people, putting them out the store, because they in there to get money from the black people to kill the white folks. You see what I'm saying? These Arabs is over here, they got all these different factions that's over there fighting. They come and move right in the black neighborhood. The black people don't know them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they from all these different factions. They hate white folks. Okay, so they say, well, nigger's passive, so I'll slap a nigger and let him know that he got to do what I say, because he's from what they call a jihadist and all this kind of stuff, and they going to destroy the world, and black people is going to be in it if they don't do what they say, because they got to fight the white folks all down in Syria, all down in the Middle East. Okay, so now the Arabs and the Chinese, they all jihadist Muslims. You got African Muslims come to the black neighborhood to pick on the poor blacks. You know, the blacks is the lamb, isn't it?
Well, you have to understand the dynamics of this world.
Yeah.
Like you say, see, it's all there in the Bible. It stems from the Bible. We, for a long time, most of our scholarship has been coming from Europeans, but those of us who've gone and studied beyond that and have learned who the children of Israel really, who these people really are. We are they that was driven to the west coast of Africa, but we don't know it.
Everybody can get up every morning to jump on the colored people, as they say.
I tell you what,
we're gonna be the victor in the end.
Oh yeah, the Bible says that. But look here, I'm up against a break. We're about to go into the second hour. We thank Imani for coming in and paying his tax-deductible pledge. We thank you, Imani. He pays in cash. Thank you for this nice big pledge. And we'll be right back in just a moment. All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. And in the studios with us is Brother Imani. Good morning, Imani.
Good morning, Rev Barnett. Glad to have you back home.
Well, glad to be here. Glad to be here. Glad to be back. And it's just so much going on. But now I'm going to tell you what's happening. It ain't nothing new. It's not any more than it's ever been. No. But you know what? Technology. Everybody got a camera.
That's right.
Everybody.
That's right.
Because all you got to do is take your telephone out.
That's right.
And they record as good as those cameras used to record, back in the 90s and 80s on that they recorded pretty good. But these cameras on these telephones record as well as they do or better.
Right.
Things are coming out. But we still have people in denial, Imani, that it just ain't happening like that. And some of them even said a boy deserved to be killed, the boy in Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown. They're saying he deserved to be killed. And, when will people come around? They can see it now and still in denial. There's a problem somewhere.
Well, what it is, what it is, it's not a black thing anymore. It's still the same as what it was in 450 years ago. It's just under a new age, a new technology. And the hatred and the bitterness never left. This is for all people I'm talking to.
Do you think it was because of President Obama? It's coming out.
Well, I listened to Rush Limbaugh yesterday at 60, and I listened to them guys. They are actually talking about revolution. There were about 300 million rounds of ammo when he was elected. They have gun shows openly everywhere
Saturday. You go. I travel all over this country.
Well,
everywhere I go, they got gun shows.
Well, I'm telling you, this country, I got a hat on right now. I served in this country. I wear it now.
I've seen a picture of you. You showed me that picture when you were in the military.
Right.
I think you were in Vietnam then.
I was in Vietnam in 68 and 69. I was what you call a tunnel rat.
Right.
And I made a vow then. That's why I come up here this morning. First of all, I want to let you know, Brother Barnett, I just hope you can keep your show, because what you talking, they don't usually let you last very long. But I want to tell you something. I fought for this country.
I've talked 30 years.
Well, they can have complete control of the communication sources, like you said, the phones and everything. So I'm just surprised. That's why I said I'm going to go up there and take my $100, because this won't be there.
I certainly appreciate it.
Well, we have to. That's where it's all start with us. Unity. I just left for Tuskegee about 7-8 months ago, where about 10,000 of us showed up. We have an economic blueprint.org. It's not going to be until we respect ourselves and get the Willie Lynches off of us.
Right.
I'm finna do a play called Willie Lynch.
Okay.
And in other words, it starts with yourself. And so once we get where we sending money into economicblueprint.org, once we find everybody respects us, nobody respects us. We don't have our own banks. We don't have our own grocery stores.
Right.
We don't have nothing that'll come here.
So why do you expect anybody to respect you?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't respect us, but I'm just a part of us.
Yeah.
But I don't respect us. I was in South Dallas the other day. Everything that all the churches are closed up, boarded up. They got bars on the window. If I wanted some help the other day, only place I could get some pieces in the beer store and the liquor store, because this is the only thing open in the middle of the day.
Let's see. Look here, we got a line full of callers, but you can whine in on some of the answers. Let's go to line 4. And all your calls. Casey, I can rest your that's holding on. I'm coming right to you. All right, let's go with Claudia. All righty. Good morning, Claudia.
Thank you.
Good morning, Rev Barnett, and good morning to all the listeners again.
Good morning.
A great show. You know, I guess Rev Barnett was so disturbing to me. Good morning, Monty. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Monty Fowler. Listen, my thing is that I know you got other callers. I'm listening to a local TV station the other day, and one of the morning commentators said that, you know, it was premature for Eric Holder, our Attorney General, to go into Ferguson. How dare they go in? He said that it was premature for the governor and for Eric Holder to go into Ferguson, saying that the shooting was unjustifiable. They need to wait until the facts come in. Well, I don't care what facts come in. To all your listeners and to the police department there and whomever else, and to this local TV commentator and morning show host, my thing is that the young man was still unarmed. Anytime you shoot someone that does not have a weapon, that is not a threat to you, this is not a justifiable shooting. You know, and this is what gets me. We talk about racism. Racism is also within some of our media outlets, and that's the problem that I have.
Oh, yes,
you know,
you got a fellow. You got a fellow on Channel 8. I have to talk about it. I'm glad you brought it and reminded me to say something, Claudia. Channel 8. You got a fellow on there by the name of Brett Shipp. He is always reporting on sports and everything, but he has such a racist slant to it. Anything that's black or helping black children, he's against it and try to get it shut down. Yes, Brett Shipp is a hardcore racist on Channel 8. Now go right ahead, Claudia.
And, you know, well, this was Channel 4. Mark Davis does a commentary once or twice a week or something. And, you know, he said, how dare Eric Holder jump on a plane and go into Ferguson saying that the shooting was unjustifiable? How dare the governor? Well, you know, and because I wrote down everything that he said, I was going to hit him up on, get it on my Facebook page, which I still am. Just haven't had time to sit down and get my thoughts together. I just think that it's really, really, you know, it's just really, really disturbing that, you know, it's okay for a young black male to be shot down, and you say, how dare they jump on planes? Well, you know, that's their job as governor and as the Attorney General.
That's right,
Claudia. To go in and to investigate. And like I tell my young men in Joppy, if the police come out here, just do what they ask you to do, because if you do get shot down, you get shot in the back. At least me and Mama and Big Mama and them, we have something we can fight with, because if you coming towards them and they tell you to stop, baby, then we don't have nothing to fight for. And then, like I tell them, you know, my deal is, if just do what the police, I tell any young man, do what the police tell you to do. If they tell you to get on the ground, baby, get on the ground. Don't be trying to explain nothing. Just get on the ground. You know, because if something goes down, then at least we have something at the very end of the day to fight with, to fight for justice for you.
Claudia. I'm here sitting here as an honorable veteran, served the Army and the Navy. Honorably. Now, I don't think I should have to bend down to bow down to anybody and get on no ground, because, like Rev Barnett, I'm tired of buckling up trying to see if my seatbelt is busted every time a white Caucasian officer come in my neighborhood. I should have rights too. I pay my taxes. I pay my dues. This is to all people. We have rights. I don't think we should teach our children to bow down. Now, what we need to unite and talk about this respectfully to each other and come up with a solution. First of all, we need to support Reverend Barnett, because that will start. I said, what can we start? We need to get to the roots of the problem. And if we do what we have to do, like I brought my money up here, then we will be we could come together and that's what respect us. Don't teach your children to bow down. I understand. Teach them how to. Teach them, say, now use your intelligence not to confront them until we get some power. We don't have no power.
Exactly. I guess that's okay. I guess that, you know, that's better wording. I just told my young men, if the police come in here, they ask you to stop, baby, stop. If they ask you to put your hands up, put your hands up. Just don't give them. Well, I basically told them bottom line, and so many, and I'm on the radio, so I can't say the words that I use, choice words. I just told them, do what the police tell you to do. Don't give them a reason. Don't even give them a reason to pull their gun or to give them a reason to shoot you down because of what they thought you were going to do. So I just teach them, you know, whatever they ask you to do, just do it in order to save your own life. And you're right, we shouldn't teach our children about them. But with our young men, but with our young men, I'm really scared for our young men between the ages of now 13 all the way up to 24 and 30. It's really sad. I know you got other calls, but I just want to say
Claudia, let me say something. Let me commend you for warning them. But here's the problem that's happening now. We're getting to the point. It's a case in New York. It's a case not only in Missouri, California. We have a case in Detroit, where these men, according to all the witnesses, had their hands up.
Right.
Had given up doing with this and still got shot. See, both of y'all are right. We need to come together.
Well, Claudia.
And Claudia is right. Don't provoke them at all. Don't do exactly as he asked you. But it's hard for a young man because we don't know what's being said. We get the police side of him.
Right.
He might be saying something totally so gross that young man's scared to lie down. He's afraid.
Right.
So we don't know what's happening.
I want to ask the one question, Rev Barnett, because we get all the frustration up here on you and the complaints and what they do. Claudia, what are you planning on doing to help us to go against this evilness and the wrongdoing in our community?
Well, of course, the Rev Barnett and all the other ministers and all the other cities and community leaders, we all going to stand number one in prayer.
Oh, yeah, you do, Claudia.
And it's okay to protest. It's okay to have a meeting about another meeting, but it's time out for the meetings, and I'm all about protesting. The protesting will get your message out there, but we need to do something, and I'm willing to stand.
And you are
whatever we need to do.
You're working this community.
We know
Claudia.
you.
I'll tell everybody. All righty.
All right.
All right. Thank you. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's get me anonymous female. And Casey and Ike, I'm coming right to you. She's on 2. Good morning. You're on KNON.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Barnett.
Yes,
I have a question, and I want to ask this thing right here. Why is it that our government of Perry don't show up for his arraignment, but they dragged our counselor, which is John Ryder Price?
Well, what color is Perry? Hello? What color is Perry?
I'm asking, what is it?
What color is Perry?
Our Governor Perry. He is charged with felony. And don't show up for his arraignment, but then it dragged John Ryder Pryor and deprived him of his privacy.
Well, look. Now, state law. I think the state law say you don't have to. And his, I don't think his was that a federal thing he did?
No, Perry.
That's the state.
It's a state.
That's a state thing. And
robbery. And
John Wiley was federal.
John Wiley.
There might be different laws.
Well, no, really, both of them can be federal, but the federal government hadn't come into Perry's because anytime you're elected official in this country, you can come under the FBI, under the Justice Department, but they didn't choose to.
If a lawyer out there, if you're listening, call in and tell us, because I don't want to give misinformation on that. John's federal, and so far that was the Attorney General, District Attorney there in Travis County that was drunk and he withheld those funds.
Right.
That was state funds,
bribery.
But one was federal and one is state.
Well,
the governor is state.
The state the federal. See, they have the right to pick the case up if they wanted to, but they wanted to pick up John.
The feds got John.
Right.
Yeah, they got him.
I'm just asking because I want to understand. Because it's all right for one person to be in trouble, and then the other person you don't do nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear what you're saying.
Whatever, right is right.
Right. We hopefully a lawyer will call and get in and explain that to us, and so you'll have the right information. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Casey. Let me get Casey in. Casey, you there? He might be gone by now. Casey, you there? All right, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Ike and see if Ike's still there. Good morning, Ike. You there? Yeah, they've been holding a long time. All right, let's go to line. Wait a minute. That was who was that?
One.
That was Elaine on line 4. Sorry, got the wrong one. Go to line 1. All righty. All right, Ike, are you still there? Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Fine. You doing all right?
All right, man.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. Good morning to both of y'all, and you having a wonderful show. But I just wanted to make mention that we're talking about the racism that goes on through the police department now. They call it the North 40 up there about I call it the Preston Wood Post Office up there Frankfurt and the toll road. Well,
right.
Now they had a guy go up there in that rich neighborhood with an assault rifle, set a dumpster on fire.
Yeah.
And when the fire department showed up, he fired on the fire department, and when the police department showed up, he fired on the police department.
Well, is that the one where he turned the flag upside down?
No, I don't know what about the flag.
Yeah, he turned the flag upside down. We have a lot of that going on right now.
Wait a minute. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying I'm trying to get to a point. The point is, they send SWAT in there and march that man out of there alive. Well, we got a young man in Oak Cliff that's mentally ill, and they call the police on him. He got a little old pocket knife, just a real fingernail file, and they go in there and shoot him to death.
Yeah, and they shot him within seconds after arrival also.
Yeah, and they didn't take time to bring in special units in there to deal with it like they did the guy up there in North Dallas.
But let me ask you something. Remember when they first reported this, they didn't give you any names of whose property that was, whose house that was. All they let you know, it was in a neighborhood that average house cost about $2 million.
Right.
And they didn't tell you who these people were. They just reported it.
That's right.
And I said, wait a minute. Had it been in my neighborhood, they would have told you who it was and gave you the address, the name of the street. They would have given it all detail. But they didn't do this. You have to watch the media. They're no earthly good. They're no earthly good.
I'm going to say this.
I'll bring you back on the other side of the break, but I got to take the break now. Put him on hold, and we'll bring him right back. And we'll be back in just one moment. All right, we're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Rev Barnett, your host, and we have with us a special guest this morning, Imani. He came by, he paid his pledge. We thank God for that, and we sure would thank God if you would call in your tax-deductible pledge. I thank you for all of you who called in your pledges last week when we were here and today, and you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Because you pay that pledge, we do not have to bite our tongues. We can go on and tell you exactly what's going on. We try to give you the best of information. I don't have to give out lies. There's so much wrong going on. We don't have to give out any lies. All right, let's go back to Ike on line 1. All right, you can catch those calls. All right. Ike, are you still there?
Yes, sir, I'm still here.
Go right ahead.
Well, I was just saying, one more thing I want to say, and I'm going to go. The town hall meeting down there with Lupe Valdez, Perez Watkins, and Chief Brown, I think it was real good in the sense that it sent out a message that people are tired of being done any kind of way and told anything, because, it was a heated town hall meeting, and I didn't like the outcome of it, but it still sent a message that to these elected officials, and especially that if we're going to vote for you, then we go out to hold you accountable, and we need you doing what you were elected to do, not just being politicking and stuff. But on that note, right there, because I was very upset with the way the thing went, because I think there's just some things I ain't going to mention on the radio that I did not like about it. And one of them, I will mention that, I didn't like the delay to get in, the $5 parking, then you had to stand in line by 30 minutes to get in the building to pay for your parking. I didn't like none of that. I think it's just been managed. Well,
the next one would be at what, Friendship West?
Yeah, and I got an issue with that, but I won't mention it over the radio. But I just saying that, I think we letting our people know, our officials know that they need to answer to the people, not answer to the paycheck, but answer to the people that elected them. And I like what you said earlier, that you know, you got some issues with our district attorney, but you still trying to support him, and I'm trying to support him, but I got some issues that will have to be dealt with. So on that note, God bless, and have a great day. You having a great show.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your call.
Rev Barnett, I hear us crying out to the wilderness, and we'll come really actually sometime wanting help, but we don't even know where to go. Like I come up here this morning. We got to pull. One thing we got to learn how to unite, pool our resources together. Like this is our radio station. This is the only one we have that has a talk show.
That really is going to come out and do real talk, black talk.
Real black talk, because nobody else will take Ike's call, okay? And I know the other stations won't take his call, and he gets to get his frustrations out. But see, Ike, I want to remind you, we need your resources. Because if you
no, Ike is one of our top.
Oh, he top man.
Oh, he's one of the top contributors.
Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad.
No, he's a great man, great man, and he struggled with his son, how he was wrongfully done, and because he feels like that because of the child that his son had a confrontation with him, you know. Well,
I apologize to Ike.
A fist fight was the son of a Dallas police woman.
I'm sorry, Ike.
Yeah, no. Ike is he's A-OK. All right, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Elaine. All righty, Elaine, you there? She's gone again, huh? All right. All right, 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Doc. All righty, good morning, Doc.
Yeah, good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine, how are you this morning?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I was talking about this Willie Lynch thing. How did that go? I don't want to understand the Willie Lynch thing.
Okay, let me explain to you. It was a brother that wrote this book. Oh, it's been about 27, 28 years ago. And he fabricated the story, but the fabrication is so true. He finally admitted last year he wrote the book, and it never really truly happened. But when he talked about in that book how black people are divided, you're to divide yourselves along the lines of plantations. They would divide themselves along the lines of light skin versus dark skin. They would divide themselves along the lines of young and old.
Age.
Yeah, and all of this, these were the things that divide us, and they use those things because it is true. White masters used to act as if they didn't like the master that was had the plantation next door to them. So if they didn't like each other, the slaves wouldn't like each other. That was to make sure the slaves never got together and came together and would unite against them. So this is the story about Willie Lynch's divide and conquer.
I'm doing a play on it.
Well, let me say this, Rev Barnett.
Yes,
back on that time, why would they hang a person and let them stay up there all the week while the other slave could see them?
That was to bring fear.
Instead of cutting them down, they let them hang up there.
No, they cut. Many times after they hang them, they would burn them and let them hang till their burned bodies would rot from the rope. And that would bring fear, and that fear is working until this day. It's 2014.
Yeah.
We have that fear in us because it passed from generation to generation. It all depends on how we teach our children. We bring that fear on our children, the fear of oppression, the fear of our oppressors, the supremacy of our oppressors. We bring that fear through ignorance and don't realize by teaching them certain things, we teach them to be subservient to other people. We do it even in our hair care products. We do everything we can to be like him, and our children learn to love and respect people who don't care anything about them.
And Rev Barnett, there's one thing he said in there. I'm doing the speech. He said, make sure that your servants, and I said, what servant? That means the police. And your overseers distrust all slaves, but make sure your slave love and trust only us.
Okay.
And that was one of about the last verse of that, but it was all about the indoctrination and how they keep us with fear, envy, and distrust.
Right.
Well, let me say something about John Wiley Price. Here lately, they got a muzzle on him. They don't want him to talk or say anything, and people are coming up in the commissioner's court there saying they want him off the ground. He can't do anything but just look. And the other people are saying get him off the...
do you have your real?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's tearing us up, feeding back. The feedback tearing us up in the studio.
Okay.
Okay. You cut it down off. So we now cut it because you're on a delayed system.
Okay.
And it's tearing us. Okay, come on.
But they don't want him to say anything or talk that it might damage his trial.
It would incriminate him because they try to take anything he's saying and use against him. That's smart. Not to talk. Don't say anything because you can be talking about an apple on the tree and they'll come back in a trial use that against you. No, that's the right thing. Don't say anything. Don't give them any fodder to burn you up with. No, don't do that. Now that's good thinking.
Well, they keep moving his trial. They said it's going to be sometime next year before his trial come up.
I thought it was September 29th.
No, well, they're going to get a continuously, they said.
Well, that might be his. Be his attorneys that might be asking for that. Yeah. I would think the farther you would put it away would be in his favor.
That's what I'm saying. They got some of the people coming down to make sure they get him. And if they got all this proof, why?
Well,
now, wait a minute. Let me say something. It would be in his favor to push that thing.
I don't know about that, Rev Barnett.
No, here's what. The feds have shown that they really have stated what they want on him. The longer he push it away, he can work on a case that will defend him on those charges.
Well, the reason I say so, because they don't want him to be connected with Governor Perry. If Governor Perry get out of this situation he's in, then that'll give them more leverage to... If you put it down the road, but right now we're going to compare the two. They don't want us to compare.
Again, you're dealing with the state government and the federal government.
We're dealing with the law.
Now, John and I have disagreed over the years. We've been friends, but we disagreed over the years on political things because I felt like there was a lot could have been done in that district, like an airport and different things like that. But when it comes to oppression from the outside, no. I'm not going against a man, that looks like me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. He and I disagree. I've spoken out against him. And we've argued and did different things. But when it comes to outside oppression, no. When it comes to inside, if black folk wake up and want to vote him out, I'm fine with that. But I don't want no power on the outside to dictate into our community about someone that looked like us that we have voted in. So now, if he's done wrong, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Catch him in the wrong. Ain't nothing I can do about that.
But
you have to. Okay.
He was in the trenches back then.
Well, yes, God knows.
I was with him.
The reason why you have Dodge trains coming in our community, there are a lot of things. He used to be there. He used to be there, but. I still don't want outside forces dealing in our community. I didn't like it when they did Don Hicks. I didn't like it when they messed with Al Lipscomb and all of these.
Leo Cheney.
Yeah, well, Leo, they didn't do anything to Leo. Leo was a great soul, good man. But he got a chance to serve his term out. But Hicks is in prison and different things. I don't like it, and that's one time. When it comes to sticking together, these are the times. Even if you don't agree with the person on some political things, at some point in time we have to come together.
I suggest this too, brother. You know, Mayor Nagin in New Orleans, he's got 9 years, and Jefferson, the congressman, got 12 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, now go to Detroit. I think they got about 27 of them that they sent to prison.
Well, who is this white guy? He didn't hardly get a year. Bender, something like that.
Oh.
He didn't hardly.
Where was he from?
A year in jail, and
where was he from?
He was here in Dallas. The first one.
You talking about you serve on the city council? What is the guy's name?
Some kind of a. I don't know what he served on the.
Yeah, he turned state evidence.
Turned state evidence.
Yes, and now you don't forget about Laura Miller now.
Well, she was able to walk because she resigned.
That's right.
Yeah, she resigned.
She's out there.
But I thank you for your call. We got too many callers, but thank you. All right. Okay. 972-647-1893. I'm trying to see. Let me bring James on because I sure hate he got cut off last week. James, bring me on line 2.
Yes, good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Sorry about last week, James.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Morning. No problem. Yes, sir. It's all part of communication.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I appreciate all of your sacrifices. We're down here in Palestine, Texas, East Texas, but we're ready to travel either way, and we're ready to go. A couple of things right quick, Reverend Barnett. On that shooting up there with Mr. Brown, they were trying to say that he was charging. Well, they said one of his arms was lower than the other one.
Wait a minute, hold. Your radio on, boy. I'm getting some.
That's somebody else. I'm not on.
Is that your radio not on?
No, sir. I'm away. My radio's on, but I'm well away from it.
No, we hear it. We hear it.
Okay, well, let me get back a little further. But what I was saying on that shooting up there is they were trying to say that young man was, one arm was lower than the other one. The reason for that was, I want to say right quick, was he was shot in that arm, so he couldn't raise it much higher than what it was. And when they say he was charging towards that man, he was shot and stumbling forward. He was not charging someone with an armed weapon that shot him. And so that's a lie right there, fabricated. That third guy that witnessed from upstairs, that's going to be the answer to the whole thing to corroborate everybody else. But let me say this locally. In Dallas, you have police departments. Don't they have 72 hours to prepare their statement after some incident happened up there?
That seems to be a national thing that they give. They give them an opportunity to prep. I don't care what kind of lie. What kind of lie they're saying it's for. It's an opportunity. And he will have other people working with them in order to tell him what to say to beat that grand jury. Now, I'm afraid in Ferguson, that grand jury may not indict him.
Yes, sir. If they don't, let me say this. He's sitting out for sparks because, let me say this right quick. We as the people, I hear all everybody say it this morning, we need to educate ourselves on what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and Jesus said, civil disobedience. We need to learn how to get ready to march, protest, voting, and everything else. And if we as church people can come together in the community with these broken families and things, let's pull ourselves together and realize we're being shot down like dogs and things. And we better get it together, quit talking about it like Brother Money and everybody else.
Brother, are you tired of marching? I marched since 1962.
But what I'm saying is
EMS and praying, marching, and singing. We got to come up with another tactic, and it's going to be economics.
I'm willing to work either way. I'm saying we better do something rather than nothing because all the churches tomorrow, watch, all the church houses be full of people with pockets full of money, and where is it going to go when they leave Monday morning? That preacher, pastor, whoever it is, going to take it down to a white institution, and they go down there, and the pastor can't even borrow no money, let alone the members getting some money. That's what my concern is. Let's take that money and put it in some black institutions and things and help each other. Let's quit taking that money down there.
Last thing
I can say, Reverend Barnett, is this. If they're going to kill our children, we need to go back to the old Bible adage of eye for an eye. If they're going to do like that, I'm tired of our children being shot down and things, and everybody else walking around here like it's okay. Nah.
Sir, I just want to say this. Remember the scriptures when it say, there's going to be many coming in my name, they're going to be like sheaves in wolf clothing. You know why the wolves got the clothing? Because it ensured the sheep, they wear all the clothing. Rev Barnett's the only man I've seen of God to stand up. That's why they don't have a packed house, because he's telling the truth. So it's going to be a lot of those. So it's going to be packed tomorrow. I call it payday.
All righty. Thank you for your call. All righty. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. How much we got in this segment? I tell you what, let's get the job line in this segment here. Those of you who are looking for a job or know somebody who's looking for a job, get your pen and paper out. Cause let's go to line 3 and bring on Mr. Greg Barber. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine,
Are there any jobs out there?
There are some jobs out here this morning on my SAT job line. That's Solutions and Action State job line, brought to you every Saturday morning during church information and open forum here on Knon 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Abbott Label is looking for a customer service representative. You can apply online at www.abbottlabel, that's ABBOTTLABEL.com. Once again, that web address is www.abbottlabel, ABBOTTLABEL.com. AJ Bart Incorporated is looking for customer service representatives. The number for inquiry is 972-960-8300. Once again, that's AJ Bart Incorporated is looking for customer service representatives. The number for inquiry is 972-960-8300. Belk Incorporation is looking for warehouse representatives. You can apply online at www.belcan.com/TSD. Or the number for inquiry is 972-239-0405. Once again, Belkin Corporation is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.belcan.com/TSD. Or the number for inquiry is 972-239-0405. Interstate Threaded Products is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.interstatethreadedproducts.com. Once again, that's Interstate Threaded Products is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.interstatethreadedproducts.com. Andrews Distributing Company is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.wfa.KRONOSTM.com. Once again, that web address is www.wfa.KRONOSTM.com. Uline is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. Once again, that's Uline is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. If you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make a transition back to mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make that transition back to mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Today is also a great day to make a pledge to church information in open forum and follow through with. Today is also a great day to make a pledge to church information in open forum and follow through with. The late, great Bob Marley once said, get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Rev Barnett, are you there?
I'm here.
One comment on the Ferguson case.
I tell you what, Greg, we're going to put you on hold and bring you on right after the break. We're up against a break.
And Greg, I want to talk to you too.
All righty, and piggybacking on what he said, as early as Monday, I'll probably hire 2 people in my daycare. Give us a call, 972-290-4995, or come by Bruton and Masters. Haven't enjoyed daycare. I'll probably hire as many as 2 Monday if you work and I like for you to live in the Pleasant Grove area. Come by, and I'll probably, if you're qualified, there's a good chance you'll get hired. We're up against a short break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. Could you bring Mr. Greg Barber back up on line 3? All righty, Greg, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Rev Barnett.
Okay, go right ahead.
Greg.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, okay. Good morning. When you get through, I will get that. I want to find something up from you when you get through.
Okay. I'm going to comment on the Ferguson situation, and that is over 70% of the population, but yet have little to no representation in the community.
Right.
And you would have those that go along to say, I don't do politics, but politics does you. Everything about your life is politics.
You're not even born till a politician has signed your birth certificate.
That is correct.
You're not dead till some politician has signed your death certificate.
That is correct. Everything about life involves politics. Politics is just merely the determination of who gets what, what's allocated where. And when people don't do politics, when people don't get active in the political system, you have a situation like Ferguson. You have a situation to where you are the dominant populace in the area, but you have no representation.
What does remind you of? What does that remind you of? Think about it. You know, a nation that was the dominant population, but only a small minority ruled them?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Apartheid
in South Africa.
Yeah. Apartheid.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Apartheid. But what happens is you have what you call reactionary politics, is what's going on in Ferguson right now. But that's after the fact. You need pre-actionary politics. That's before it happens.
Right.
You need to have these things in place and these folk in place and all of this. But you have to arm yourself, and you must make yourself educated and aware of what's going on around you.
That's right.
At all times.
At all times.
Look at your paycheck. That money that goes out in federal government tax, politics determine where that goes.
Right.
They're taking your money and they're making decisions on how to spend your money. And if you're not involved, you have no say in the matter. Somebody else is determining how they spend your money, and they will spend it in their communities and favoring them.
That's right.
When you don't get involved in politics.
Well,
and that very same thing can and does happen here in midterm elections like we have coming up in November. Typically, we have a lackluster showing. Folks wait till a presidential election, and this one is as important, if not more important, than the presidential election.
Yeah, because these people are the closest one to you. And they're the ones who, whatever the Fed sent in or whatever the state have, these are the ones who determine how that money is going to be distributed. Those who are closest to you are the ones who can do the most damage or who can help you the most.
Well, let's just look at the first. Let's just look at the Missouri situation. Who could take the DA off the case? The governor. Who are we electing in November? A governor. Who will also be elected in November? A district attorney. An attorney general. All of these folks are going to be elected this November. Now my question is to the general populace. Are you ready? Have you educated yourselves? Are you prepared to cast an educated vote? Are you registered to vote?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we need to get out. I tell you what, Greg, you need to call me because we're going to have to start pushing voter registration on here. And people, when you register to vote, you go out and vote because there's some people will. I found out a lot of them register but won't go to the vote. That makes no sense. I just utterly.
Last election,
it's frustrating.
12%.
Yeah.
Last election.
But we need to make sure people go and vote. Thank you, Greg.
Greg.
Thanks.
One more thing. Greg?
Okay.
Well, okay, if somebody wasn't up, most of our people are not, at this time of morning on Saturdays, well, how could they get this list of jobs?
They can go through the radio station. The radio station knows how to contact me myself. And also, I will debunk the myth about the job line. I will debunk it. You can go to DallasMorning.com Dallas Morning News Job Center.
Mm-hmm.
A good majority of these jobs are listed on Dallas Morning News Job Center.
On the computer?
On the computer.
Okay.
In your paper.
Dallas Morning News Job Center. Okay. Thank you so much, Greg.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
You are.
972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Casey on line 4 already. See if he's still there. Casey, are you there?
You know I'm not Pastor Barnett. What's going on?
Thank you for being so patient. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Great, man. Great. How you doing? Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I'm waiting on you.
No, I'm waiting on you. I sent you an email. Call me ASAP, and you know what it's about.
Okay, I hadn't checked, but I've been out of town, man. But I'll look it up, and I'll call you ASAP when I get off.
I would say to you it's already started. You know what that means. Pastor Barnett, what's happening now?
Wonderful, wonderful. Life is good.
Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, man. Just had a birthday last week. Had a big and nice announcement at my birthday party, and so I'm feeling good. And
how old are you?
I am 42 years old and proud to say it.
Now you think you're grown.
Hey. Well,
he's getting there.
He's getting there, everybody.
Yeah. 42, he's still a baby.
Oh, man. I smell the milk. I can smell the milk.
Well, I tell you what, we got big plans. What I want to call about was two things. Monday Night Politics. I'm glad to hear Greg say what he said. Monday Night Politics, hosted by the Dallas Examiner, begins again this Monday. We took a break and had a series of community conversations, but now we're starting back this Monday, and so we want your listener audience to come out because we're starting out with the DA's race.
Where at?
This Monday, African American Museum at 6 p.m. sharp, and we start on time. I won't be moderating this time. Matt Houston will be moderating, chair of the Black Chamber of Commerce, but I'll be moderating all the forums after that.
Okay, now that's going to be Susan Hawks against sitting district attorney Greg Watkins.
Exactly.
That's going to be very, very interesting because I'm going to put it like this. Susan Hawks is a white woman. That was a Democrat, now is a Republican.
Right.
And there could be that white women and some black women will be voting strongly for her. Craig could be in trouble with this particular race. He could be in trouble.
Well, one thing, Rev Barnett, that's $50,000 for the car, fixing the car. It's all on the not on our news, on their news. I listen to their news, and they're really pushing that $50,000 like he committed a crime. So we gonna really have to get out there and support each other this time because they gonna try to bury him, John, and if we don't do it through the vote, we don't have a chance.
All right.
Yeah, and fellas, I'm going to tell you.
You said 6 o'clock at the African American Museum.
6 o'clock sharp. We start right on time at the African. I'm coming over, and so I'm going to one of the budget.
You're talking about in Fair Park, right?
In Fair Park. I will be there as soon as I got to go to one of the budget town hall meetings in my council district, and immediately after that, I'm headed right on over there. So we want to push as many people out to get informed, and also to support young brother May. I think I'm young. Matt, I think he may have just turned 30, and he's chair of the Black Chamber of Commerce. So we want to put we want to support him and encourage him as well.
Okay.
One other thing, and then I'll let you go. And if you want, Pastor Barnett, I'll call in every week, and I'll let you know what the forum is, which candidates are going to be on.
Make sure you do that. Make sure you inform the people about which candidates will be. Is the Dallas Examiner still putting this on?
Yes. Dallas Examiner, Monday Night Politics Coalition. Now, I was listening this morning. I was on social media and I was looking, and Dr. Michael Waters, young, strong pastor right there in the South Dallas community, had posted a video on his Facebook page of Lawrence O'Donnell's show on MSNBC. And he had a segment where he talked about Ferguson, and what he talked about is the fact that the New York Times wrote a story, and the story that the New York Times wrote tried to make it seem like these eyewitnesses have been getting conflicting stories. But it's a young lady, her name is Tiffany. I don't remember her last name.
I remember.
Yes. And one thing that he showed is wasn't that they were not direct. I think somebody earlier talked about he stumbled forward. Michael Brown stumbled forward because he had been shot. It wasn't he was trying to run at the officer.
No, man. Do you think the man crazy? A joker shooting you, and most police forces, they usually carry 44 Magnums. That's most powerful handgun in the world.
Rev Barnett,
you think you're gonna run in, go run in on bullets hitting you, and you running toward them?
Casey, I know I'm on your time, but let me tell you, Pat Robertson the other day said this big old 300-pound brute was going up against this police officer, and he was attacking him. He had only 10 feet, and measured and everything. So this is Pat Robertson, Reverend Pat Robertson.
Right, yeah.
And this big guy was going to kill this little white guy. So go ahead, brother.
No. All I was going to say is we need to really watch and see who's reporting the news, because it's alternative means of getting good information from the ground.
Right. That's right.
That's real solid information. So I lost y'all's numbers, guys. That's all the reason why I am here. When you get up the air, I need both of y'all to call me, because I got something extremely important I need to tell both of you.
Oh, okay.
I will.
All right, thank you. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Travis. All righty? Good morning, Travis.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you this morning?
Good morning.
I'm enjoying your show this morning. As I was, I got a comment and a question. I'm with this militia group, this terrorist group known as the police department, terrorizing our people. Just here in Dallas, just yesterday, a white officer was convicted of assault on a black man, sentenced to 6 months in jail. Now,
which you won't serve.
Hate crime. It wasn't sort of a hate crime. I'm trying to figure out why not, and why we not up in arms about why it wasn't charged as a hate crime. Also, I talked about several black police officers who said there have been several complaints on this man before in the past, but there was no proof.
And all they do is slapping him on the wrist.
Right. He won't do the full 6 months.
No.
We're not up in arms about this, and the police, the media barely reported it.
Well, when did this happen? I don't even remember this case. Did it come out in the media when it first happened?
It came out briefly. It was only briefly. He was just
did all the stations report this? See, the way they do it, I think these stations and the TV stations in Dallas are in collusion. They might have one outlet to report it, and the other 3 or 4 that people watch here locally don't report it. That means a large segment of the community don't get a chance to see it. Just like this lady last night. You didn't see the lady last night,
right? I saw it, but
they had this woman, she and her children. Black men, when we gonna get upset? They're messing with our women and children. When we gonna get upset about something? When we gonna get mad?
Rev Barnett, why do you think I'm up so early up here? Because this is the only place we have that. You see, the whole thing is information, communication.
Right.
If I didn't hear you this morning, I wouldn't have been up here. I can't get this anywhere else. That's why I'm up here. So what we getting, brother, I hear what you said. We're not getting the information that we need.
That's right.
Because who controls it, who owns it.
Yeah. All right.
When is the next rally?
I tell you what, come to Fair Park Monday evening, 6 o'clock, and you'll find out a lot of information.
African American Museum at 6 p.m. And also, Rev Barnett, at the end of the show, I'll be at your church tomorrow.
All righty.
So
we're looking forward to seeing you. All righty. All right, let's go. How much? We got 2 minutes. Travis, was that Travis? Let's go to Robert on 3 right quick. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I am wonderful. Just want to make a comment in regard to John Wiley Price. My personal feelings is that they finally got it. I think they got it. And I think that when the FBI come at you, I think they have something on you. It's been many years. John Wiley Price has been marching and protesting and that sort of thing, but I really feel this time that they have it.
All right.
I call in now.
Tell you, thank
you know Rev Barnett?
I'm out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
They had Paul, too, remember?
Yeah.
They don't mean they're right.
All righty, but thank you. Thank you, everybody, for calling. Thank you for listening. I'm Marion Barnett, your host, Senior Pastor of Heavenly Joy Church, and we're located at Bruton Masters. Come by and see us. Service beginning at 11 a.m., Sunday school 9:30. And may the Lord bless you and keep you coming. Next is our great union show and different things. They support great issues, so stay tuned to all of the programming here on Knon. We'll see you next week, Lord says the same. Bye-bye.
Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.